a very interesting morning with teams have been put together somewhat randomly, a bit like teams of strangers that have involved dementia researchers and people from the world of motorsports. They've been taken through a process to think about their big ideas for how we might accelerate change in dementia research. And then they've got themselves into the point where they're now ready to give us a 5-minute pitch for a hypothetical £20,000 seed grant. And we have a judging panel that is made up of Siddharthen Chandran, David Llewellyn, who are both professors in dementia research, and Duncan Bradley, who comes from McLaren Applied Technology, or used to be with McLaren Applied. They are our judging panel, so they are going to be the dragons of Dragon's Den equivalent. The rest of us are just observers, so we will be watching to see what's going on. So you may have noticed we're in this auditorium, so we feel a bit like we're on TV, but we're talking to a load of empty seats. And we're joined this afternoon by both Samantha Stewart, who some of you will have met this morning, and Dame Helen Atkinson, who's a Pro-Vice Chancellor. Can you tell me?
I'm the Pro-Vice Chancellor for Cranfield University for the School of Aerospace, Transport Systems and Manufacturing. So the motorsport bit of Cranfield actually fits within my school. And so it's our great pleasure to be hosting this event today and really supporting the campaign.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you, Helen, and thank you for filling in your full job title, because I would have got those words in the wrong order had I been left to my own devices.
Gone quiet.
It's gone quiet?
No, it's not fun. It's just me.
Okay, so I think we're now ready to invite our teams to pitch. So I think we will go in the order that I just happen to have the team names in. So if we could invite the red team, or their nominated pitcher, to come and talk to us. Who's representing the red team?
Hi, everybody. My name's Sinu. So we're gonna, so just before I start, just let you know, we've got 3 people who are gonna make this pitch. And I'll start whenever you'd like me to.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. Thanks very much for attending. And my name is Sinu. I'm representing the red team, and I'll be pitching our idea for the platform named Voice for Dementia, with the aim of giving people with dementia and their families a voice for research and the fight against dementia. As most of you know, dementia is a significant problem in the world. There are over 500,000 people with dementia in the United Kingdom. As a clinician, I do memory clinics in Oxford. When I give a diagnosis of dementia, patients and their families often feel completely alone, as if the floor has fallen from beneath them. Now, there's a risk of feeling lost and unsupported, as often they may only come back to clinic in 6 to 12 months, and general support may be hard to come by or difficult to access. However, when the dust settles from the diagnosis, I do often see a very resilient response from people who want to help with research and the fight against dementia. However, if these patients are lucky or they're in the right center, they may enter a research database and then later be contacted to take part in a small research project or potentially a clinical trial. However, this approach to dementia research risks restricting valuable resources to small silos. And really, from the moment of diagnosis, or even when dementia is suspected, there's an opportunity to collect valuable data that may help. So therefore, the red team proposes to tackle these problems by providing a platform from the perspective of the person with dementia and their carers to give them a voice, as well as allowing better access for researchers to reach this pool of willing and valuable participants. So I'll just pass you on to Jimmy now.
Thanks, Inu. As Jackie Stewart kind of hinted this morning, the Formula One mindset is all about impact. It's about identifying opportunities, devising innovative ways of delivering on that in a short time frame. We propose to use the funding to deliver a pilot project, which will capture the voice of kind of dementia sufferers from a focus group to make this data set available for researchers to validate. Initially, we are looking to create a free mobile application based off of the success of the Zoe COVID-19 symptom tracker app. For those not familiar, The Zoe app has kind of demonstrated the power of crowdsourced data. So it was created in under 6 weeks. To date, it has over 4.5 million contributors, kind of contributing daily updates on the health of themselves and their families. It's been used by King's College London and many other institutes around the world. This kind of citizen science approach kind of provides a pool of dementia sufferers, relies on basic yes/no questions with daily reminders for patients, their carers, or their family members to submit. It is a very simple application. It has nothing beyond the way of yes/no questions, but allows researchers to really target their audience. Beyond this, we would expand the platform to kind of better support research collaborations, kind of getting researchers together to harness biometric and wellness data from wearables, and also to provide support materials and resources to those impacted, such as invitations to clinical trials. As a team, we have a mixture of clinical expertise combined with researchers and software engineers with extra access to memory clinics and connections to national charities and initiatives, such as the DEMA network. I'd like to hand over to Paul just to share his personal experience in his fight against dementia.
So as a part-time carer for my father, who's suffered Alzheimer's for the last 10 years, and my mother, who died from dementia 11 years ago, I believe the ability to contribute to a scientific research project on a regular basis rather than every 6 months at a hospital appointment with my father, for example, that does give me hope that a solution can be found before this horrible disease takes me as well.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. And therefore, just to conclude, we hope for your support to develop our platform, Voice for Dementia, to empower people living with dementia and their carers to accelerate research against dementia. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Red Team. I feel like we should applaud. Thank you very much. I would now like to invite the Blue Team, or representatives thereof, to tell us what they think we should spend the money on.
Sure, thank you very much. I believe we've got a couple of slides to share while I talk. Okay, good afternoon. My name is Tom Goddard and I am from the Blue Team, and welcome to our presentation. The speed and accuracy with which we diagnose dementia is extremely poor. The diagnostic rate of some dementias is less than 50%. The search for methods of diagnosing dementia could be vastly accelerated, but is currently hampered by small sample sizes, poor quality data, and a disconnect between research groups. As a researcher, my work has been impacted by this lack of data availability. I'm currently developing a protocol that can identify cases before they occur, but we do not have enough samples to conduct this investigation accurately. This issue will contribute to late or misdiagnosis, and will mean more individuals suffering with this terrible disease. Also, the incidence of dementia is increasing and is projected to hit 152 million individuals worldwide by 2050. That's a staggering increase of over 200% from 2015. This will mostly occur in low and middle income countries where dementia is often under-researched. What I need to combat these issues as a researcher is more data, and more high quality global data. More data will give us the power to find diagnostic biomarkers and allow us to discover new methods for early diagnosis. Now, clinical trials are conducted in silos but contain rich veins of data. This is often guarded by the companies, and sharing between researchers is rare. Sharing of this data will give researchers the tools we need to accelerate the speed of dementia research, and pharmaceutical companies will also benefit from the early diagnosis of dementia. We are pitching for an investment in an open source data platform that allows dementia patients to have the data uploaded and used globally by researchers. I'm now going to pass over to Jack, who's going to describe how we're going to deliver this.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. So within F1, we have a lot of expertise in the gathering of big data, which is often across multiple platforms. And we have to bring this onto a common platform in order to be able to compare it and to analyze it. We also utilize data science techniques as well, such as data gathering and processing. And this opens up the possibility of also utilizing machine learning and artificial intelligence algorithms. So as Tom alluded to, our proposed solution is a single database of relevant biomarkers collated across multiple specialities across medical sectors. So our database will need to be three things. First and foremost, it will need to be standardized. This will mitigate against the need for resource spent on data cleaning and data filtering. Secondly, it will need to be scalable. So what we're proposing here today is a pilot scheme on a smaller scale, but we will need to have the ability for data to be gathered on a much larger scale and analysed potentially on a global scale as well. And thirdly, we're looking for this to be open source. So we want to promote collaboration across multiple sectors, and to do that we need access to data across the board. The hope is as well this will also benefit low and middle income countries by giving them access to data that they wouldn't necessarily have had. So in summary, we're seeking to implement an open source database as a pilot scheme that we hope to scale up that will include relevant biomarker data for research into dementia. But of course, our ultimate aim here is that no person with dementia, or indeed their loved ones, should have to suffer as a result of a late diagnosis and miss out on that crucially needed appropriate care and treatment. So thank you for your time in listening to this pitch, and yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, blue team. I would now like to call on the orange team. Or is it Team Orange? You choose.
Orange team would be grand, thank you. I have a presentation. Could I share the screen, please? Perfect. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're Team Orange and I'm John Moffat, and we are Collaboration Against Dementia. Dementia is a global pandemic. 1 in 3 people will get dementia. Who in the audience will get dementia? Look at the people left and right on your screen. One of you will get dementia. How will your family and your loved ones deal with it? If you were affected by dementia, would you want the people, the academics, to work in silos, under-resourced and competing with one another? Or would you prefer that everyone collaborates and solve this medical emergency? COVID was a global pandemic. Dementia is also a pandemic. And let us come together like we did for COVID and solve these things. We will provide a platform that provides collaboration, just like the response to the COVID pandemic, bringing together the data analytics, the specialists who have the knowledge, the tools, the labs, and the funding. There's 50 million cases of dementia worldwide, and that number increases 10 million every year. The Alzheimer's Society reports the cost of dementia care in the UK is £34.7 billion per annum. And the Alzheimer's Research UK reports that the cost of dementia care worldwide is $817 billion. We have 3 dementia researchers from world-leading dementia institutes in our team. We have a representative from the McLaren racing team who have a history of supporting the life sciences and can identify the most promising solutions and, more importantly, implement them very quickly. And we have a Royal Marine who we sacrifice in the presentation of the pitch, but who also delivers under pressure. The key benefits will provide a single key question for people to answer, and then give them access via our platforms to the tools required to solve the problem. We'll also create a winning culture. Such questions could be, what causes dementia? What is aging and what does it look like? These are some of the simple questions that we could ask and get collaboration to focus on. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Team Orange. Next up, we have Team Purple.
Thank you very much. I wonder if you can see the slides.
And
Dr. Ahmed Al-Khalifat. I'm clinician and scientist at King's College London. And on behalf of the Purple team, I will present Research With Me platform. It's a collaborative dementia toolbox to accelerate progress. It's similar to idea to a lot of previous presentations, but we combined a lot. So over the last two decades, dementia researchers have generated valuable information about the dementia, leading to discovery of important features of dementia. Thousands of petabytes are now available for researchers, and for the first time, dementia researchers have tools also to work with these kind of data sets. However, it's remained challenging to collaborate and also share ideas and also share data sets. And this has led to dementia lack of a collaborative working, and also that dementia research is not quick enough, and also has led to lack of resources, especially for early careers researchers for novel hypothesis testing. For this reason, we decided to create a platform to address this ethical issue, as this dementia will affect everyone. Dementia will affect 1 in 3 born this year will get dementia, and also will, with estimated $1 trillion of healthcare cost. So for this, we suggest a platform for sharing ideas, sharing also collaborate, and come to a solution faster. And for this, we're going to combine different expertise to reach a solution, and this will come with the data integration and multiple layers of data. The difference of this platform than others is that we offer the opportunity for a collaboration and sharing idea. It's almost like a dating app where you meet a colleague and you present your hypothesis and the idea that you want to collaborate with. As we saw during this pandemic, collaboration was really a key to fight this pandemic. For this platform will offer this collaboration opportunity with also integration with data. The data will be harmonized and in a OMAP tool, and a toolbox of software will be also be available for researchers to test the data and also to generate new hypotheses. The key benefit of this to get common goal quicker and improve our understanding of dementia globally. Our suggestion for the budget is to create to spend 10,000 on the website. Of course, this is just the seed for a bigger project. The legal aspect is really important here for data sharing. The third aspect is to disseminate the plan and also push everyone to take part of this initiative to create a data set that represent this global problem. Collaboration is important. Create a profile for this, we create a profile for researchers interested in this topic, such like LinkedIn. We will connect with like-minded people, we share topics and data, and we also reach a solution hopefully faster. This is an example of OMAP file that we will use. We will use a pipeline to harmonize the data in an easy understanding way for researchers. Collaboration is key, and success in dementia research is depending on this, as less than 1% of success rate of Alzheimer's disease trial. For this reason, we have to collaborate and to understand the heterogeneity of this disease. I want to thank everyone in our group. Thank you very much. Happy to answer any question.
Thanks, Team Purple. We'll hold questions for now because I think we need to just keep moving. So I will now invite Team Yellow to present.
Hi everyone. We haven't got slides. I'm going to talk to you person to person. So I'm going to get started. My name's Jodie and I'm presenting on behalf of the Yellow team. And I want to start by posing a question to dementia researchers. How much of your time do you spend actually researching? So all of the researchers in our team are very passionate about advancing dementia research, but are often frustrated by the amount of their time that is spent in tick box activities. And largely this is to obtain funding and secure future work. So 50 million people worldwide have dementia. By 2025, 1 million people in the UK alone. By 2050, this has doubled to 2 million. This is an urgent problem that needs a solution fast. We want to change the culture of academic research, and we want to optimize our research towards making a real impact for real people. And by doing this, we propose a series of research races. And so these are events where research groups will come together to compete to showcase their work without hiding any of the ugly stuff. So positives and negative, things that have gone wrong, things that they've changed as a result of those negative findings, and the way that they're going to move forward to find positive outcomes. There'll be cash prizes and awards as incentive. And essentially this event is borrowing the Formula One thinking and using this as a framework to help funnel resources and energy away from these tick box activities and more into these short bursts of research activity. And after these short bursts of competitive activity, there'll be periods of time whereby you're able to gain feedback and therefore motivate yourself to make those changes and learn from your mistakes. We see this as this collaboration, this partnership as a mutual benefit. So we would not only be competing to advance dementia research knowledge, but also Formula One would be able to increase awareness of dementia. And we think this bringing in of the public and public backing is really important and something that Formula One does really well. As well as this, we would make sure that key funders in dementia research are sponsors of these events. And this will create a viable new stream of funding in which dementia researchers can put their time and energy into, whilst they're also competing to better dementia research. So rather than taking away from their bench research. We feel that our team is best positioned to give this event as we're diverse. We have dementia researchers, we have people with expertise in public engagement and measurement, and we also have expertise in Formula One development. So we are asking for a seed funding of £20,000 to set up a pilot study, a first event, which we will be able to invite funders to, and then gain feedback off the back of to improve future events. Will you do your bit to advance dementia research? Thank you.
Very nice, Team Yellow. And last but not least, the Green team.
Hi, thanks very much. We are the Green team, and we've got some slides to share with you. So our team have developed an idea called RACER. This is the Repository of Alzheimer's Collaborative Experimental Research. This is a global database accessible to all dementia researchers to contribute data, access data, and use AI modeling capabilities. The increasing global prevalence of dementia and lack of disease-modifying treatments is urgent. Meanwhile, we have capabilities to gather massive amounts of data in every aspect of our lives. But currently in dementia research, our data collection efforts are siloed, and there's an inability to share this data for the acceleration of research. Our challenge is that research data is difficult to attain. It takes research teams years to generate significant data sets to make meaningful inroads in fields such as diagnostics and drug discovery. Accessing research data is a major hurdle slowing down global research. This is important to the researcher because with no increasing cost, the researcher will have a full complement of global data instead of just locally generated data. And this is important to the patient because they want their data to be used to maximal capacity. My colleague will get some more of the details.
Hi, so yes, to achieve this, we plan to focus on two major developments. The first one would be to develop an AI tool to synthesize the researcher individual racer data. So the idea would be to develop a tool that uses individual data points to recreate the relationships between variables collected in this particular data set. The tool will be able to simulate new data points by understanding these relationships. You can imagine it as running simulatory labs using a model that has been created using a real data collected from track sessions. This data should be anonymized and structured so it can be combined with other data sets, and it should encompass, the tool should encompass different types of data from imaging and genomics to behavioral data sets. And the idea would be to maximize the probability of researchers to share the data, very less about potential anonymity of the participants, while also protecting their data collections. And in the second step, we will focus on developing a repository that hosts individual synthetic data sets, different racer simulations, which allows the combination of data, variables, and cases in a harmonizable way to support future AI development. So the idea would be that this repository is global and accessible to the researchers in a better way than individual data sets.
Our group of researchers have experience in a range of data utilization, from modifiable biomarkers to drug discovery. And we have expertise in Formula One development of AI and the usage of large volumes of data effectively. The reach of this team allows a focus on making this a global initiative, bringing together researchers from different continents. So will you join in our vision for the collaboration of global researchers to share data for the acceleration of a cure for dementia? Thanks for listening.
Thank you very much, Team Green, and thank you to all of you. I've been very impressed at a number of levels. As the person sort of trying to manage the timetable, you were very obedient in keeping to time, and I'm very grateful to you for that. But the most impressive thing to me is that this morning you were all strangers. And actually what we've demonstrated today is how quickly a group of strangers combined around a common goal can come up with some really, really important and useful ideas. What we're going to do now is we've got essentially a change of pace for half an hour, during which time the judges will go into a breakout room so they can confer and decide who is going to be the winning team and the second and the third. Just to add a little bit of a thrill, the prize for the winning team is that the dementia researchers in the winning team will be given a tour of the Red Bull factory at some point when COVID regulations allow that to happen and things are open up again, but we'll keep you in touch with that. But that's the sort of the prize that is available to the winning team. But the top three team members will also get a small prize that will remain a mystery for the moment, delivered to your homes at the point that we can, for which reason we will need to have a home address for all the winners, otherwise we'll have no way of getting a prize to you. But right now we're going to split off into, as I say, the judges will go into a breakout room to confer. The team room breakout rooms will also be opened up again. So if teams want to reassemble so they can do a Formula One style review. Mark, did you want to remind them what that is?
Yeah, I was just going to say this is probably the last time today you'll spend some time in those breakouts. So just think about those two questions. What did we do well? What are the things we could have done better? Because I'm sure this isn't the last kind of event like this that you'll be taking part of in. So there is learnings to be got. So make use of the time.
So the breakout rooms will be open for all the teams to do that. That will leave a bunch of us still in this plenary room. While we're in this plenary room, I believe we've got a couple of videos about Race Against Dementia and about Cranfield that we'll be playing for people to be able to watch and enjoy, or you can sneak off and have a little break. Totally up to you, but we'll provide some entertainment for those of you who would like to be entertained. And then we will reconvene here at past. I say here, it's a virtual here, at which point we will be announcing the winners, hearing a bit from the judges about what they liked about each of the presentations, but importantly announcing the winners and just wrapping up the day. So I think that's probably all I needed to say. So if I could have Carrie can sort out the breakout rooms as discussed, and we'll get those videos playing in a few minutes. I'll hand over to our esteemed judges so they can talk us through their deliberations and let us know the exciting news.
Thanks, Penny. So I'm going to sort of lead the feedback and the results here, and then our other two judges are going to chip in. So first thing to say, obviously, thank you very much for great effort, trying to tackle some really big challenges in a really short space of time, new teams, and getting to know each other, as well as lots of other information that came towards you, and learning really fast on it. So thank you very much. So we've, you saw the testing, the scoring criteria, which we've gone through. So we scored live, each of us, and then we've confirmed and gone through each of the materials you've supplied in this sort of last half an hour. So just some general comments. I think it was very clear that everybody went along a very similar direction. Everyone was in a very similar theme of maximizing impact in either research or impact with people living with dementia by some form of collaborative idea. So I think that's a topic that probably should be taken off agenda, because clearly everyone is saying that we could do a better job of sharing data and accelerating research in this space. So clearly clearly a big trend there. So thank you very much. So we saw that most of the ideas were based around some form of that, but there are of course three. We have to award three awards here, and there were three that stood out for us. So let me give you that scoring. So I'm going to start in reverse order. So for third place, we have awarded the orange team third place. So congratulations and well done. So this was the collaboration against dementia. And so everyone presented really well, but I just want to sort of maybe just point out the reasons why you gained third place. And what we really liked there was actually towards the end of your presentation, you had a similar theme of collaborating around a platform, but we quite like the idea, or like the idea a lot of your prioritizing around some of the global agendas, and you came up with some really key questions there that you could direct this platform for. So some good direction there, and something we thought that could be achievable certainly in the first part. And then perhaps we struggle a little bit as to how we might go on beyond that, but that's quite a big question, is how you kind of action a lot of these global agendas. But we like the use of the funding to be able to address some really key questions. So well done, team. Yeah, great effort there. Siddharthen, David, do you have any further comments on that?
Just to add that the idea of agenda setting is neat and is also, I think, very much achievable. So there's an element that this is realistic and can be delivered. As you say, what you might do after that is less clear.
Yeah, and it's a highly ambitious but potentially very impactful enterprise. It relies really on people learning to play nicely, and I do think we need to try and change the culture in which we work. So could be a big win, and it could be really exciting.
Thank you. Okay, so on to second place. So second place, we awarded the yellow team that position. So well done, everybody there. We liked this idea. Again, it was similar, based around some sort of collaboration, but we liked this idea because it was slightly different, because we thought wasn't direct related to use of data, but it was quite nicely pitched, and you could exploit the use of media to accelerate research. And we really like the idea that accelerating the research was a real core fundamental part of what we were trying to do here. And we thought this was a really accessible way to accelerate research with these short burst initiatives. And then the idea of bringing it on sponsorship and other partners. So we thought that was a really good way of doing it. We liked the pitch as well. There weren't any slides, but it came across really clearly, and we thought it was well put forward. The only of these slight sort of, I guess, perhaps one of the reasons why it didn't quite make it to the number one spot is we thought you started to drift into what sort of the main actually point of Race Against Dementia was. I think sort of like 70% of the presentation was really excellent, and then we slight marking down on the fact that actually we're getting quite close to what the whole thing was about anyway. But that was a small negative on what we thought was a really great idea for this idea of short burst research, which is definitely an issue that a number of people have raised. Sid, David, any further comments?
Again, just to say this was a terrific idea. I think the branding and simplicity around research races is very clever, and it might be something that can be adopted regardless. So very well done.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, sorry, David.
Yeah, I really like this idea, and actually, when the idea for this event was initially being discussed with Penny and others, it was a bit closer to this kind of format, and the idea of short bursts of activity, getting people involved with the data, and innovating far more quickly, I think has got legs. I think this could really work. So it's a great idea.
Thank you. Okay, so finally, who's got pole position? So this was in agreement with all the judges, more or less from straight away, that this was at the top of the presentations, and this we awarded the pole position, the winner, first place, to the red team. So congratulations, well done, really good effort. So the reason that team got top award was really based around sort of one sort of core thing. Whilst the whole idea was, again, on a similar theme, collaborative, data-led, what we really liked was they demonstrated or described a way in which it could be built off the back of the COVID track and trace and some of the apps, and we felt that was definitely believable, given what we've seen in recent months and over the last year. So we like the idea. It was described in a way that we thought was believable. We could see that happening. The team was well balanced, and we kind of liked the presentation as well. We managed to squeeze in all of the team, I think, in the presentation in a reasonably seamless way in a really short space of time. And so it was that kind of realness that set that team apart in its solution. So congratulations on that. A really great job on that. And David, Siddharthen, please. Yep.
Yeah. I thought this was terrific, really like it. Its novelty, its simplicity, and the very real chance of high and sustained impact all stood out. This is the one that took a different perspective. It's rooted in, I think the title was Voice for dementia. So it took a more patient carer. And the COVID tracker that they referenced, I mean, the question is, now that you flagged it, why not? I mean, this could really have legs, and then would scale rapidly. So fantastic idea, very well done.
Yeah, I mean, this would be a terrible idea 2 years ago. It would be completely infeasible, and the world has changed, and we are where we are, and this could really work. And we were all really, really keen on this idea as a result. And I also like the way in which the team picked off something quite deliverable that they would do with the pilot funding. You know, the idea of doing a focus group and target group and working out the idea to a greater depth, I think is very achievable. And I think it's very exciting. I hope it actually happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done, everybody.
Yeah, very well done.
Thank you to the judges. That's been really helpful and insightful to hear your views. Congratulations to Team Red. Really impressed with that. And yeah, it's just wonderful to feel that something positive has come out of COVID. I love David's comment at the end there. 2 years ago, it would have seemed completely infeasible. But we now have a foundation to build on and know what we can do these things if we really put our minds to it. So I'm going to hand over to Helen to say a few words.
So just to say to everyone today, that all the researchers who've been on the line, what a fantastic opportunity this has been for you to take part in a pitched panel. Great foundation for developing research careers, because this is exactly what is required, you know, to come up with novel ideas and then present them in a very convincing way. So it's a great opportunity. Really want to thank all of the team who've been involved in originating the idea for today. So to Professor Mark Jenkins and to Penny yourself, but to Clive Temple as well and the motorsport team here at Cranfield, and indeed to the whole of the team behind the scenes, Carrie and Sarah and Ellie and others. You've done a fantastic job of pulling it all together to support Race Against Dementia. So I really am deeply grateful and very, Cranfield itself is very honoured and privileged to be involved today. So over to yourself, Sir Jackie.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you, a big thank you to the participants. Really well done. And it's wonderful for us who are deeply involved, of course, with Race Against Dementia, mainly because of Helen, my wife, and the whole family, Paul and Mark, are up here today on the screen too. So a big thank you to all of us. It's a terrible illness, and that's what you are fighting. And today, that demonstration that you've just run is a great example of the amount of enthusiasm that's involved in the Cranfield, because we couldn't have done all of this without Cranfield. We're in a beautiful auditorium here, and I'm only sorry that it's not full. Because of the epidemic, clearly that's not possible. And we'd love to have had everyone who's participated down here. So a big thank you for taking the initiative of being part of what we're doing. And a very big thank you for all of us at Race Against Dementia. It's a relatively new charity in comparison to some. But as I keep telling everybody, one considers how much other illnesses, if you'd like to call it that, such as cancer, and clearly we've got to have a good cure for cancer, but the involvement of the medical world is so much different. For only one of the Race Against Dementia efforts that's going on, there's 4 being done by cancer. And we can't change that. It's going to be a long wall that we've got to carry over. And I think that's one of the things that we've got to do, and that's one of the things I want to be part of doing in my lifetime. So a very big thank you to you, first of all, for going to so much trouble and doing such good presentations. That was wonderful. So many congratulations to all, and of course, particularly the winner. Also, I'm proud to announce that although today's competition workshop was just an exercise, if you like, to pitch for 20 £20,000 grant. We're also opening a grant process today for a real £20,000 grant. So if any of you would like to apply, this could be a way of getting your big ideas, or good ideas, I would rather say, off the ground. So please do put together a team and find out how the details are through our website. But more than anything else, thank you to everybody at Cranfield, all our team, Penny and the rest of the team who have put this together. It's unusual for us to be sitting in an empty auditorium, but it's wonderful to have gone through and put this together so that we are talking positively and working forward to finding a cure for this terrible illness. That the latest significant announcement that was made, if you can believe this, it's just terrible, that for all of the young people that are going to be born today, 1 in 3 are going to have dementia. And that's a terrible statistic. So what you're doing is going to help to break down that statistic. So thank you again very much.
Thank you. Thank you to Jackie for your support and inspiration of setting up Race Against Dementia in the first place. A few other thank yous for today. In addition to the wonderful hospitality and the massive behind-the-scenes works that's gone on over the last few weeks with the Cranfield team, also want to thank the Demon Network, as represented today by David Llewellyn, and the other mentors who've been involved. You've heard from some of them today, but they've also not only came along and did their little bit today, but they've actually been working with me and Mark behind the scenes for weeks and months to figure out how we were going to put this together. First of all, how we'd put it together as a live event, and then how we were going to put it together as a virtual event. We really hope we will be able to run something similar again. And in the theme of Formula One style review, if we could have a sharing thing, we'd love your feedback. So what we're interested in, and if you haven't got the routine from Mark already, we'd like to hear what you think went well today, what you think we should keep doing, we should do again next time, but also anything that you noticed that you think we could do differently next time. I'm certainly hoping that next time we might have at least some of you physically here, but whatever level you think you have feedback and ideas about what we could be doing differently to run an event like this, or indeed if you've got other ideas about what you think we could be doing in general as a charity, really all ears, would love to hear from you. Just logistically, if you were in that winning red team, if you can make sure that you send in your personal address. Also the 2 other teams, so was that yellow and orange, because we do want to send a little something out to each of you, but we don't currently have your addresses. So if you can send those in to me would be fine. You've got my email address there. So if you can send all of those in, then we'll be able to get something to you, because we would really like to be able to reward you for your efforts today. And I look forward to meeting them physically, the people in the red team, when we do that tour of Red Bull Racing's factory. And I think that's just about us wrapped up. Thanks everybody for your time, for your effort, for your wonderful ideas. I really hope we get at least some of them off the ground. One way or another. We only have the one £20,000 grant, but I'm sure there are other grant bodies out there that you could also apply to. Now you've got the bit between your teeth and partway along the way. So thanks once again.
Well, I think that's a good end to a good day, but in addition to which, I'd just like to thank all of the contributors who have put money into Race Against Dementia to take on this tremendous challenge. And many of them were listening in and watching today. So again, for all of us, for the full team of Race Against Dementia, a very big thank you.
And so that's a wrap.